would just fill you
Yeah.
so full of fury, it wouldn't be worth it.
In a way, the perverse side of me wants you to see it.
No, wait,
Steve Harry.
stop like that.
Yeah.
I think Harry should watch it before next week's show.
Okay.
I think we're all intrigued to know what his opinion
Do you want me
is.
to get my DVD
Yes.
to you somehow?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I'm quite fortunate in this because my girlfriend hates the idea of it as well. So I think we can both sit there and just be angry.
You promise that you'll watch it before next week's show?
Yeah, okay.
Thank you very much indeed. As a reward for that, you get a musical choice.
Oh, wow, fantastic. That's very exciting. Well, my pick today, there's a lot of talk about what's going to be big in 09. Rather than that, I've gone for something that's actually going to be good in 09. I was lucky to come across a band called the Jacuzzi Boys. Now, they're from Miami. They've only got a handful of 7-inch records out. This is from a split with King Khan, and this is called Strange Hand.
I think I was expecting something a little bit more in a party mode from the Jacuzzi Boys, huh?
Yeah, it's not particularly upbeat, but very enjoyable. Yeah, Strange Hand by the Jacuzzi Boys on Florida's Dying Records.
Thank you very much indeed. We're talking movies, looking ahead to some of the big releases of 09 with James King. Let's talk about some of the big blockbusters of the summer.
What year?
2018.
What happened here?
Judgment Day happened.
I knew it was coming. I thought I knew our enemy. But I don't know if we can win this war. We are outnumbered by machines. And we have all lost so very much. But this is not the future my mother warned me about.
The trailer there for Mamma Mia, Harry. So I think you'll be enjoying it a little bit more than you thought. Now, of course, that is the trailer for what?
This new Terminator film.
Woo! Slow down.
Yeah, which is Christian Bale. He's John Connor this time round. I'll be honest, I've completely lost track with what's going on in the Terminator movies. I even watched some of the Sarah Connor Chronicles on the telly, but again, it just hurts my head if I try to work out who is doing what to whom.
In what time zone?
Yeah. But, you know, this is Christian Bale. He always gives it his all, so I'm looking forward to seeing him as JC. You know Arnie this time round.
Of course not.
Which is a good thing. And you've got the downside, this is the worrying side, is there's a guy annoyingly called McG, who's the director of Terminator.
He directed the
Charlie's Angels films, yes. And he's sort of he's not sort of, he's completely style over content. And, you know, the good thing about the Terminator movies is they always have a bit of depth to them, certainly the James Cameron original ones that he did. So I'm a bit concerned whether it's still going to have that edge to it. But I think the Christian Bale factor balances that out, so.
Why is McG called McG? Is his surname embarrassing? Is he called, say, McGonad? I don't know.
Yeah, I honestly don't know, actually. We'll have to find out what his real name is.
Yeah.
Presumably it is McG something.
Sure.
You know, if he's called, like, Dave Smith, it'd be a bit weird. Really.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
although just calling himself
Maybe it's McDonald's. It's just confusing. McDonald's.
His middle name apparently is McGinty. Joseph McGinty Nicol.
There we are, answered. So, aside from the Terminator movie, what else can we look forward to?
We've also got, if we're talking sci-fi blockbusters, we've got a new X-Men film, which is called X-Men: Origins. I don't know, is that correct? Is that grammatically correct?
Well, you certainly pronounced it correctly, and I think it's a colon rather than a semi.
Right, okay, yeah, so we're all good there. This is Wolverine. Actually, I don't know how because it's called X-Men: Origins Wolverine, but I don't know how Wolverine quite fits into that title.
I think there should be a hyphen after...
Hyphen Wolverine, yeah. So, you know, you kind of know what this is. This is Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine. The other ones are gone, but this is his early years. The early years of how he became Wolverine. And what he said about it is that those other X-Men films were a little bit family-friendly. This one's going to go a bit dirtier and a bit more dangerous, so that looks good as well.
Is there anything that you're looking forward to in particular?
I'm looking forward to a new Star Trek film, which looks very good. The J.J. Abrams reboot of Star Trek. Again, the early years of Star Trek. And I'm looking forward to Watchmen as well, which is, of course, a legendary comic book that many people have tried to make into a movie. Terry Gilliam was attached to it for a long time. Finally, it's been made by a guy called Zack Snyder, who made 300. That's not that funny a name, Rufus, but there's a little giggle there. And that's out in March. So Watchmen, the classic comic book, finally hits the big screen in March.
Thank you very much indeed. Can we have a little round of applause, please, for James King coming and talking about
I've
film?
bought it my birthday cake as well, because it's my birthday a couple of days ago, and I've got the remnants of a High School Musical 3 birthday cake. I've gobbled up Ryan already, so there's no Ryan left.
Sure.
But there's a bit of Sharpay for you, Steve.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah.
Who knows? Yeah. Listen,
We'll all chow down on that.
talking of looking to the big new releases, we like to delve into the pigeonhole, as you know, and listen to some of the big musical artists who are putting out stuff in the next couple of weeks. And who better to kickstart that in 09, but one of the biggest names in UK pop, Lily Allen. Stick around, James, and give us your views if you would. Released February 9th, Lily Allen, and new tune from her, The Fear. It's Steve Show 6 Music with me, Steve Merchant, and my gang of cronies. Also, a film critic and know-it-all, James King, is with us to give his opinion on this said tune. We're delving into the pigeonhole, and we're starting with Lily.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this actually. Wasn't so much of a big fan of her original stuff. Thought it was a bit like slightly irritating, street nursery rhymes. But I think this one's got a lot of maturity to it, like the electronic feel to it. Yeah, big fan.
Sammy, you are a lady, or Lily is a lady, ergo you must love it.
Complete opposite view to James. I loved her early stuff, loved the nursery rhyme. It was different, it was exciting. This is just falling into the trend of everyone else. Don't sound like everyone else, Lily. You're amazing.
Tiny Dan has a tiny view.
I do have a tiny mind, which means I didn't really think that much about it. I like the moody intro, hinted at perhaps a darker direction for Alan, but it went quite poppy, quite like the 80s sound, but not quite doing it for me, I'm afraid.
Is it possible for Lily to wrestle out from beneath the weight of her tabloid attention?
Obviously not. She's making references to the sun and the mirror in the second verse of this song. The lyrics are extraordinary, actually. The first line is, I want to be rich and I want lots of money. So we're kicking off with a pretty tricky tautology from the start. We know that all she really wants is a mortgage, because she was very clear about that at Glastonbury. And there is the worst lyric I think I've heard in a song in the last 12 months, which is, I am a weapon of massive consumption.
Sure.
I couldn't listen to any of the rest of the song after that lyric. So no, thumbs down from me.
Let's have the final verdict from Harry.
Well, I don't get it really. Is she singing about herself, about wannabe pop stars? Is it ironic? Is she looking back into herself? I don't know. She's hanging around with some middle-aged multi-gazillionaire, so that'll help her get lots of money, I imagine, rather than proceeds from people buying this.
I'm obviously very excited about this next tune. I've not heard it yet. This is the first listen for me, possibly for you guys. The Boss has a new album on the way and also a new tune. It's called Working on a Dream, released 27th of January. Here is Bruce Springsteen. Released on January 27th, Bruce Springsteen and new single Working on a Dream. Steve Show 6 Music, and we're just listening to some of the big new releases. I'm gonna go to audience now on TED Talks. Who's going to be first? Offer their opinion on The Boss, possibly upsetting and offending Steve. Everyone knows how much he idolises the big man. They're on TED Talks. Thin ice, people. Thin ice. The bottle is sparkling, and it alights on Sammy from the North.
Right. Before, Rufus gave you some chewing gum and he was made favourite sidekick. I opened the door for you and then I became favourite sidekick and Rufus pushed me in the face. Now that's what it's like here in Sidekick Land. It's a hard game. Because of this, I don't want to lose favour, so I'm going to say nothing. I'm not going to have any opinion. I don't want to be in your good books or bad books. I'm just going to stay straight down the middle, and that's it. That's all I'm saying. Hands in the air.
You, my friend, have misjudged me. By doing that, you're fired. Get out.
Oh, no, not again.
I need a quick opinion. I'm not letting you wriggle out of
Sounded
this
a bit
one.
like Teddy Thompson, not my sort of thing.
Okay, fair enough. Still fired. Harry, you of course now have seen the big man live.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that one being a bit of a sing-along favourite?
No, that's really, that's 30 minutes in, isn't it? You're either going for a beer or a slash when that comes on. He says the rain's pouring down, he swings his hammer, his hands are rough, the sunrise comes, he climbs a ladder. He's not working on a dream, he's working on a building site. Probably going through tough times at the moment, so good luck to him.
Bruce presumably doing a bit of cash-in-hand work to supplement his multi-millionaire lifestyle. He speaks for the common man, but does he speak for a super posh guy?
He's sung this song, in the present tense, which is fine. The problem is, it's all it's all kind of rather abstracty noodling. It's all about the sun coming up, the sun going down. working on a dream, feeling pretty rough, feeling far away, still working on his dream. Nothing actually happens in the song at all. And I don't know. You've tried to convince me on Springsteen, and so has another friend of mine, and I've never been quite convinced. I'm willing to keep going on it. And Thunder Road is one of my favourite songs, but I can't get his ideas. I can't. They're not.
Well, no, because you can't relate to a guy who's singing for the blue-collar working Joe. Of course you can.
As much in common as I have with Detroit car worker is just, I just this.
But this is alien to you as probably Slipknot.
Yeah, it is.
The idea of dirt under your fingernails and a hard day's graft.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm saying it like I understand what that means. Tiny Dan.
Yes, well, when we were back in the distant past, when we were flatmates, it was tantamount to having Bruce rammed down my throat by you, of course. I think it was part of my rent to sit and watch Bruce.
To be stuffed with the boss.
Yes. And it didn't really work. He seems like a great guy, great going down the pub material. Love that, but the music's still not touching me, Steve. Rufus said the language was abstract and noodly, but the music wasn't, and you know that I like it when it is, so... it didn't really float my boat, I'm afraid.
Final word goes to guest reviewer and film critic James King.
I suppose a lot of the Boss is about emotion, isn't it? Very emotional songs, and I don't think it's classic Boss, but I do think, unlike Harry, in the arena environment, you'd be punching the air to this one. That may be where it would work best. Even then, though, I don't think it's a classic. I think it's pretty middle of the road, Bruce.
Ooh. Well, from one music legend to another, Morrissey has a new album on the way, and again, new single released February the 9th. This is I'm Throwing My Arms Around Paris. Released, as I say, February the 9th. That's Morrissey and I'm Throwing My Arms Around Paris. I'm going to start with Harry. Are you throwing your arms around Morrissey? And congratulating him for that
I'm
treat.
probably giving him a warm handshake rather than that. I enjoyed it a great deal. As the Bruce track was typically Bruce, that was very typically Morrissey. There was nothing special or exciting about it to make it stand out from any other Morrissey tracks, but that said, I really did enjoy it.
Picking up on what Harry has just said there, has Moz in his later years perhaps found a formula which he's sticking to, and is that exciting you, Dan? I know, a former Smiths fan.
Well, indeed, yes, a key figure in the story of Dan Morrissey, of course, he'll be pleased to know. Growing up, and the Smiths, still listen to all those records, and I could never bring myself to hate a Morrissey track, but it does feel slightly formulaic. I think his lisp is increasing as the years go by.
Right.
And I saw the video to this on Channel 4 last night. Other TV channels are available,
Sure.
but it was on Channel 4, so I watched it there. And he seems to be aging, and that made me quite
He's
melancholy.
aging. Morrissey ages.
I
Cover
wondered-
the news of the
yeah, I
world.
didn't know if it was to do with his vegetarian diet or something, but he seems to be getting older. Not quite sure why that is. So there's a certain sadness that the years are passing. None of us are getting any younger. The nights are dark. It's cold outside, and
You're depressing me. Be quiet. Not just because of what you said, but just because of your face. Sammy, Moz.
I've never been a huge fan of his solo stuff. I do quite like the Smiths. I've come to them quite late in my life. But I just can't get my head around it. I've got a friend who loves him, and I think the lisp is due to a tooth being removed, because that's what I sounded like after I had a tooth removed.
interesting.
He says he only gets affection from stone and metal. Maybe he fancies the Eiffel Tower. There's some people that like marry monuments and things. Maybe that's where he's going. Maybe that's why he looks old, because it is cold this time of year. And if you're living the Eiffel Tower, it's not the good weather for it.
She's an expensive date as well, particularly if you want to say take her to Rome. Ooh, pricey.
And throwing your arms around, I have concerns because I threw my arms around this week and may be done for sexual harassment.
Ooh, hang on.
Hello.
Yeah, I was in Milkshake Land, and
We should just make clear that that is not some kind of fantasy world that Sammy is in. Although I wouldn't be at all surprised if there is some kind of fantasy land in her head which she sometimes dances merrily through.
What was it?
I work in a milkshake shop. I provide milkshakes to the people of the northeast. 175 flavours, James. Get yourself up here.
Do you do soya milk?
I do.
Oh, excellent. I'm there.
There you go.